Hello and welcome to another edition of Paranormal Activity and Mysterious Stories. Let me give you a quick preview of what I got coming up in this video. I got a couple throwbacks. We're going back to 2011. This is a UFO that was caught during a Sunday night football game. And I also have this other video of a UFO that was flying over the 2012 Olympic ceremony. And I actually remember this and couldn't figure out why this wasn't a bigger issue. I have this other video here where these two guys are having a conversation and then suddenly a stranger appears and yeah, it's pretty strange. That's definitely obvious seeing the number of UFO reports. I mean, Tucker Carlson is talking about the UFOs on his show all the time now, and he was a pretty big skeptic. So yeah, there's definitely a change. Let's see. I have this video here. It's just over an hour long. Very, very interesting video. But this guy talks about a breakaway civilization. And when he says breakaway civilization, and he's referring to people within our society who have such advanced technology that, within their small group of people who are utilizing this technology, I mean, they're just so far ahead of us, and there's some possibility that the Tic Tac UFO is being operated by these people who are part of this breakaway civilization. But like that's just a theory that this guy has. But anyways, very interesting. I have this video here from Brian Forrester, where, he talks about the pre-Incan civilization and how these people obviously had some type of advanced tools in order to cut this rock, and how there must have been some type of cataclysm that split this rock. And, he has other evidence that there was obviously a cataclysm that wiped out a lot of these giant megaliths. And I also have this video here from 2015 of all of these artifacts that were found. And, you can see here, this thing, look at those eyes. It's supposedly, I guess, resemble a gray. Not too sure, possible. And let's see, in the last video here, this is about Stan Romanek. Aliens abducted Colorado man multiple times and put Betty Hill's dress onto him after conducting experiment. Yeah, this is a weird one. This guy started reporting UFOs visiting his home, and then eventually he was thrown in jail for child porn, which, I mean, I find very strange. But anyways, we'll take a look at this article. So let me go to this first one here. Yeah, this was from 2011. And this is some guy just recording it off of his television. Now watch this. So this is a Sunday night football game. Do you see that? Watch. There's going to be a few more. There's a few. Did you see that one? I think there's going to be another one. There it goes. Now, yeah, we're seeing so many of these fast-moving videos. So now this guy slows this down. You can see he's taping this off of his TV. Now, I don't think that's a bug. And then again, it comes back again. I guess he just plays that one again. But anyways, I'll leave a link to this video in the description. And let's go on to this next video. Now this, I actually remember seeing this. I think I watched it live and I was like going crazy. Like, how come no one is talking about this? But this is from the 2012 Olympic opening ceremonies. I mean, while the fireworks were going on, so everyone had to have been looking in the sky. Let me turn this down. We don't need to hear the fireworks. But look at this thing. Like, yeah, I remember this happening. I think that's it right there. I'm not too sure. I think that's it right there. But we go back to the beginning here. Yeah, you can see. I mean, this is a saucer. And this happened at the 2012 Olympics opening ceremony. But I'll have the link in the description. You can check that out. Okay, let's check out this video here. The backstory on this video is that, these two guys are having a conversation, and then suddenly this stranger shows up. So let me go full screen on this. Let me just jump ahead to where, okay, here, this is where this, there, look at that. The guy's like, what the hell was that? Look at this dude. He's freaked out. You see, I mean, I don't think he expected that. That's the close-up of this thing. And I think they actually have a conversation with it. I swear to God, she said bad connection. I don't think that that's actually that person talking. John Doe 2 was the only one who could not hear the female voices. Are you guys messing with me? You are messing with me. I don't hear nothing. Let me just go through this conversation. But, that's what this whole article is about. This stranger appeared. I don't know if it's a prank. I don't know what's going on there, but I'll leave a link to this so you can check it out. This article here is put away the tinfoil hats. The UFO phenomenon is about to get very real. Sometime in the next 5 years, the United States Navy will announce unmistakable, undeniable proof of the extraterrestrial origin of what they term unidentified aerial phenomenon, UAP. The most recent report from the Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Task Force, which is run out of the Office of Naval Intelligence, comes very close to making that determination public. While many believe in alien visitation, the proof has been lacking except for eyewitness accounts. There have been numerous reports of a government conspiracy to hide the truth about alien visitation. The conspiracy was a useful part of the military's disinformation campaign to hide what they were really doing, building super secret, super capable weapons. Now, there's definitely some possibility that, not everything that we're seeing is quote unquote alien, or as I believe, from the advanced species that share the planet with us. I think some of these crafts that we are seeing are most likely a part of some highly secretive department within our government. And here, this guy here, that's what he talks about. This Jason Reza Georgiani. And what he's saying is that, like I think back in the 1920s or something like that, when Nikola Tesla was coming up with some of his theories on how to utilize wireless electricity and, how to use zero-point electricity, he's claiming that there were people who actually did make it. And I think that, with some help with aliens, that they had access to such advanced technology that they essentially became completely separate from everyone else because they're utilizing technology which is so far ahead of anything that we have. Okay, let's hear what he has to say.
That it's possible certain scientific and technological breakthroughs have led to a culture so different from the public culture amongst elites operating in the black world, that this culture could really be properly characterized as a breakaway civilization. In other words, that scientific theories have been developed and technological breakthroughs have taken place inside the covert world of the military-industrial complex, which have led to a worldview so radically different from that which is publicly accepted that the people operating in terms of this worldview, who've internalized it and who are pursuing projects on the basis of it, really live in an alternate civilization, and one that's forked off of our own. And
yeah, you know, a lot of this money, these trillions of dollars that go missing every year, most likely goes into these, you know, highly secretive black budget projects. Let's see. I mean, he goes, talks about how the Tic Tac UFO may be, you know, one of those black budget projects.
A covert military-industrial complex, but an entire civilization that is operating from underground, as it were.
Mm-hmm. Well, we now know for a certainty that the U.S. Navy has acknowledged sightings in the last decade of vehicles tracked on radar, spotted by pilots, captured on video that far exceed the technological capabilities of the Navy, Army, and Air Force as it presently is constituted.
Yes, of course. I mean, the evidence for UFOs is overwhelming, and frankly, it has been for decades. But the question is, why the secrecy? Is it because an alien presence on this planet is being covered up? Or is it because highly classified and compartmentalized projects inside the U.S. military-industrial complex are actually developing these technologies? And you know, some of what's being seen by the Navy, these Tic Tac UFOs and so forth, might actually be manufactured by deep black projects that, you know, the captains or admirals that are interacting with these craft have no idea about, because they're not cleared classification-wise to have access to those projects.
And check this out. And let's see, he talks about how in the past farmers used to report seeing these crafts that needed help. And one of them asked him, you know, like, who made the craft? And the person told him that there was some investors from New York.
Certainly not in the context that these were potentially some sort of earthbound technology that existed at the time.
Right. Well, the accounts from the airship flap in 1897 are that, you know, these guys would land on farms, and there were people. There were, you know, human pilots dressed fairly normally, and they would ask to be resupplied certain basic goods that they needed, and in exchange, they would sometimes offer to take the farmers on rides with them. One Texan farmer was offered a ride to South America and back at an unbelievable speed. Another farmer who was astounded by this contraption and asked who had produced it was told that it was being funded by New York investors, and that the company manufacturing these airships would soon be publicly declared on the New York Stock Exchange.
Now, yeah, that obviously that never happened, but he also speculates that people like Ian Fleming, who most likely was aware of some of these breakaway civilizations, and that he somehow alluded to them in some of his book, in some of his books. I think he referred to them as a specter, and how, you know, that this group was allowing, for instance, the Russians and the United States to go to war, and then they would come in and, you know, get rid of whoever was the winner, you know, when they were in that weakened state.
Ian Fleming, in his Bond novels, describes a shadowy cabal called Spectre that is a third power in the world besides the United States and the Soviet Union. And in fact, this, the metaphor is given that like the United States and the Soviet Union are like fighting fish, and the Spectre is like a cat waiting for them to tire themselves out, for one to eat the other, and for the one that's won to be exhausted so that the cat can then devour the remaining fighting fish. And it's a metaphor for the relationship between the extraterritorial fascist international, Spectre is, and its relationship to the United States and the Soviet Union. And so what you have to wonder is, the extent to which now at this point, the third generation of these fascists imported into the United States, the extent to which they will remain loyal in any way to America now that they've defeated the Soviet Union. There was a convenience alliance between them and the American government that imported them, so long as these Nazis got to take apart their greatest enemy, the rival who they considered more serious ideologically than the Western capitalists, namely the Russian communists. And the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991. And lo and behold, a decade later, our military-industrial intelligence complex has entangled us in this war in the Islamic world.
Yeah, this guy gets into how NASA brought in all of the former Nazis that were a part of their rocket program and basically incorporated them into American society. But this is a very, very interesting video. I will leave a link in it. If you have time, definitely take a look at it. So now let me go to this next video here. Yeah, this is about one of the Brian Forster's videos, where he talks about this rock which was found and how, that there's no way people in the past could have done this with copper tools or rocks, and how this is definitely evidence of a civilization that did have advanced technology, and how, the splitting of this rock is also evidence of some great cataclysm. Because he says if they had the technology to make this, they would have, if this rock or if this rock had a defect in any way, they would have known it. So they wouldn't have, they would not have used it. And it's pretty obvious that, whatever cracked this rock happened after this thing was built. But anyways, this is a very interesting video. Let me get to this next video. Yeah, this one here, like I said, this is from 2015, and it's all of these different artifacts that they found. Look at that, cutting someone's head off. And there's with this alien motif. Look at that. A lot of these artifacts have that. And I think in some of these images, when they draw these people with wings, I think it's to signify that these people came from the sky, or that they could, go into the sky, that they had the ability to fly. Look at that. Anyway, this is almost a 15-minute long video of them just pulling out all kinds of different of these little artifacts that they found. And like I said, a lot of them have that gray alien motif on them. But anyways, I'll leave a link in the description. Let me go to this next video here. Yeah, this last one is about this Stan Romanek, a well-known alien abductee named Stan Romanek, who wrote a couple of books on alien abduction and secretly filmed his abductors, ended up in prison for child pornography, which he repeatedly denied and called it a setup by the government. Yeah, now, I remember watching his video when it came out. Yeah, I think this is the video here. Okay, now let's check out this video here that he plays, where supposedly, this UFO pops up, and I'm pretty sure he's talked about this, and I think he actually showed what's outside of this window, and there's nothing that, there's something pops up here, and yeah, he shows that there's nothing that, whatever this thing is that pops up could have been standing on. Yeah, there it is. Look at him. You can see him. He darts back away when he sees him coming. But anyways, this guy's name did come up, from my understanding, in some government documents, and apparently the government was also monitoring him, which is also very, very strange. Now, this whole idea of him being accused of child pornography, his wife definitely defends him, and what I find strange is if this guy had some kind of weird sexual proclivity, I think it's kind of strange, that he would expose himself like this. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like if I had some strange sexual proclivities, I would definitely not be making videos of UFOs visiting. I think this was his daughter's window, or I'm not too sure if it was his kids, but still, I'm not going to put out videos like this if I have some weird sexual proclivity. So, and it's definitely not unbelievable to think that our government has a counterintelligence department that does discredit people. So, I want to say right now, if I'm ever accused of having midget porn on my computers, I'm going to deny any of it. Okay, I think it's, yeah. Why would anyone download, again, someone that's talking about aliens? They're not going to download child porn onto their computer. So, I mean, right off the bat, I think he did get set up. I just don't understand. Yeah, it doesn't make sense if he had child porn on his computer that he would expose himself like this. But anyways, this is a strange one. I will leave a link in the description. That is going to be it for this video. If y'all like things like this, please give it a thumbs up. Please share this video, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I'll have more things like this. Take care.